Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now a couple of months ago I shot a video about the practicality of the Tesla Model 3 and I talked about suitcases and children's seats and putting prams in the boot. But oddly, what I didn't touch on is this, and that's the Frunk, which is a really practical storage space in the Tesla. But today I'm going to show you an accessory to make it even more practical and useful. So stay with me and learn more. Now I'll kick things off by explaining to the uninitiated what a frunk is. So the word is a combination of front trunk. I know it's the American terminology, trunk, and we would tend to say boot in the UK, and some Brits do call it the fruit, but I don't like that. I like the word frunk. So the frunk exists in this car because this is of course an electric car, which means there's no engine under here. You've got a motor on each of the axles if it's four-wheel drive, or just the rear axle in this case, because this is a rear-wheel drive. The batteries are in the floor. So there's no fuel tank, which is why there's a big boot and an under boot at the back of the car. But it means you've got this practical space at the front that you can use for extra storage. And it is genuinely really practical. If I just open my Tesla app, I can open it. There we go. So you can remember you can do that with either the app, or you can press the button on the screen, or if you have the sexy buttons, which I reviewed in one of my previous videos, then you can either just hold the handle on either the front doors and it opens it, or you can press the buttons just inside the dash. If you want to watch the video about those, it's just up there. So inside the frunk, let me just turn the glasses on so you can film and see what I can see. There's my camera and there's the frunk. It's a really big space. I mean, it's nice and wide. Let me get my phone away. It's nice and wide, it's nice and deep, it's long in that sense. All you've got in here is your towing hook and a little button which opens the latch should you manage to get stuck in there, which seems horribly unlikely, but at least you've got a button. The only thing you've got here is just the washer filler. Everything else is just there for you to use. Now the pros of that, of course, therefore, are size. It's an extra place to store things, which is fantastic. But the disadvantage is it's got this metal bit above, which means on a really hot day, essentially, heat is inevitably going to permeate through that and then end up potentially making whatever's in there a little bit warm. But I have a solution for that, which is where today's accessory comes into play. So this is from Basenor. Huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. Please have a look at their products on the link up there, and there's also a discount code in the description below. But I think this is a bit of a game changer for this space. Now, most people would tend to keep cables in there. Now, I don't know about you, but as a Tesla user myself, I have a home charger, which has a cable, so therefore I don't need to use the cables that came with the car. And if I charge in public, I tend to use superchargers, in which case they also have a cable. So I don't have to use the cables that are in the car. So I don't really open the frunk, apart from maybe to get sort of carrier bags out when we're going shopping, because I just tend to throw them in there. Which means there's a massive opportunity being missed, and that's where this bag comes in. Now, just to show you this is fully insulated, like in every single aspect. The bottom, the sides, the top. You've even got an extra little pocket on top here, which is also fully insulated. Now, the practical benefits of that are immediately apparent when you look at this space, because it's designed specifically to fit in the front. Which means you can put all your shopping or a picnic or anything you like in there. To give an idea on scale, here is a crate of Pepsi Maxes. Now if I pop those in, I'll turn these glasses back on, you can see that there's still quite a lot of space in there. You've still got quite a bit of height. You can get some more things in there. So from a practicality point of view, you could take a full family picnic in this. Or if you're camping in your Tesla, my video on camping in the Tesla is up there, then you can take food for a weekend, at least a weekend, and keep it cool in that bag, which is brilliantly useful. But just from an everyday point of view, I think there's a real advantage to making this space just a bit more usable. The other fantastic use for this bag is a car bar. Now, you might not be familiar with the concept. I went to a wedding a couple of years ago and we're at a hotel and it was all super expensive for the drinks. And one of my friends rocked up with a bag in his boot full of cold beers, and hence the car bar was born. Now, I'm not suggesting you go and deny hotels turnover, but at the same time, if you're having a picnic with your mates, you can set up a car bar. These are 330ml cans and they're not even close to the height of the boot or the bag. So you could easily get 440 and maybe even 500ml cans in there. So you could just fill this with beer, just as a thought. But from a practical point of view as well, aside from the car bar, A lot of supermarkets now, when you go in, you have the scanner on the way in, you scan the shopping as you go around, and you put it straight into your bags, and then you just pay for it at the end. Honestly, this would be brilliant to actually just put straight in your trolley. If I take these Pepsis out of the way, when this thing is zipped up, you've either got hand carrying there, or you've got a shoulder strap with padding. Now let me close it so you can actually see it properly. There we go. So that would be really easy to carry all of your shopping out in a bag. So one, from an environmental point of view, you're not using carry bags, which is great. But two, you can keep things cool right from the minute you pick them off the shelf. I genuinely think this is a super practical accessory and something you should maybe consider adding for your Tesla. It also fits obviously in the Model Y, because this has a frunk exactly the same size, in fact slightly deeper, so it gives you even more space to play with. So thank you once again to Basenor for sponsoring today's video. Hopefully you'd agree that that's something worth considering. Now do have a look at their website to see everything else they've got available. The link's up there. There's a discount code in my description below. But I think you should definitely give some serious thought to making far more practical use of your frunk. Stop filling it with cables. Now I'll be back soon with another review video, but in the meantime, you stay safe. I never get bored of that electric close. You stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.